आमचे Herald TV पळोवण्याक माय मोगाचो येवकार. This is Qatar World Cup 2022 and the results that we have seen: France 3, Poland 1, England 3 and Senegal 1. And today's matches, we have Japan versus Croatia at 8:30 p.m. and midnight, a very good match, Brazil versus South Korea. Yesterday we have seen France and Poland, and quite an interesting match, and France and England have already qualified also for the quarterfinals. And we have seen that it was quite a tough match even for England until they scored their first goal. We have with us Herald D'Souza, who is an assistant professor in St. Xavier's College and football coach. Welcome, Herald.
Thank you, sir.
And we have our sports psychologist, Joseph Ronken, who has joined us yesterday, and we are lucky that we have him also today.
Thank you.
Joseph, welcome, and especially we need your analysis, especially France and Poland, and also England and Senegal.
Definitely.
So we had Kylian Mbappe scored twice, and Olivier Giroud became France's all-time record goal scorer. The AC Milan striker, who did not score a single goal in Russia in 2018, overtook Thierry Henry with his 52nd goal for France. Giroud was also involved in Mbappe's first goal as the Paris Saint-Germain star slammed a shot high past the Polish goalkeeper. His second was even better, shifting the ball from left to right before curling a shot high into the opposite corner, despite the Poland goalkeeper getting a finger to it. Mbappe became the first player in World Cup history to score 8 goals before he will now turn 24. France will play in the quarterfinals of the World Cup in 3 consecutive editions: 2014, 2018, 2022, for the first time in the history. And I think France versus the England match is going to be a mouth-watering match. What do you say, Herald?
Yes, yes, surely it will be because both the teams, if you see the momentum they have carried off, the way they are playing, it will be a mouth-watering match because both the teams have good forwards, defense, goalkeepers, excellent. Each individual player are playing for elite clubs. Each individual player shows their brilliance on field. Surely it will be a most exciting match, probably of the tournament. But as we say, let us see when the day comes. But surely yes.
And we'll concentrate on the France-Poland match. And you had the star, this youngster, and it was a very fine match for France.
Yes.
What is your analysis, Joseph?
Yeah. France, very quick team, pressing team, and they made life difficult for the Polish defenders and the midfielders. If you go to see the match analysis in terms of forced turnovers, France had a lot of forced turnovers. And now what are forced turnovers? Forced turnovers are when a team or player puts a lot of pressure on the opponent and the opponent makes mistakes. Now why I'm talking about forced turnovers is when opponents make mistakes, you gain possession of the ball and then you start playing your style of football. Now this all goes to one aspect of sport, that is reaction time. What France did was it reduced the reaction time of the Polish players, and in doing so they stopped them from playing their type of football. And now the reaction time of France players was so quick that they could do whatever they want. They were quite pacey, they would run, they would run through the gaps. Now let's talk about the goal that Giroud scored. The reaction time of Mbappe from receiving his ball and passing it, so quick.
Too quick. Actually.
It was quick, it was very quick. So that was the first aspect of reaction time. Now what is reaction time? When we speak about reaction time is the length of time from when you perceive a stimulus and the time taken to react to that stimulus. Now what in this term, Mbappe, you perceive that Mbappe is a stimulus, is a threat. So how quick you react to what Mbappe is going to do. That is what reaction time was in that aspect. So it plays a very important role, and that's where the reaction time is connected to decision making. Mbappe's decision making was fantastic,
Pretty fast. Pretty
quick,
fast.
and clear.
Even the way that he changed the ball from one to
Yes,
the
yes.
other leg.
Yes.
I mean,
Even the goal. I think the goal that he scored, the first goal that Mbappe scored, the reaction time was slow from the point of the Polish defender Glick. He was seen. See, you can't blame Glick because Mbappe is too quick.
too quick.
But then you can always and see there are various factors that affect reaction times. There is age, there is fitness. Mbappe is young. Mbappe is fit.
23.
Exactly. So his reaction time
And they
obviously
said it
is
was like a missile goal.
both were similar missiles.
What do you say, Warren?
Yes, sir, because even if you see the first goal, Oliver Giroud, his awareness was excellent. He didn't even look at the goal. He got the ball. He knew exactly where he had to place the ball. He didn't look at the goal. So that I think those are the key factors which count sometimes, because as Mr. Joseph said, the reaction time is very less for the opponents when your awareness is good and you exactly know where to shoot. And yes, the second and third goal of Mbappe, excellent. The other players were not even ready, and by the time the goalkeeper realized that the ball is coming, it was already in the goal. He just was aware where to shoot the ball and what height. It was excellent. And the third goal, I think the goalkeeper would not get it. He tried his best. The curler, superb goal.
But I think Giroud made amends for all his
Obviously,
earlier
yes,
performances, and perhaps 36-year-old now, maybe his last World Cup.
Probably his last World Cup, and I think he's enjoying his World Cup. That's the most important thing. He's enjoying, even if he's not scoring, he's been enjoying his World Cup. And now that he scored, it was a very good taken shot, so he's going to have even more fun against England.
But these two, Mbappe and Giroud,
Mm-hmm.
the way they combined yesterday,
Yeah.
little combination.
Yes.
So if they persist with this, England will have a very tough time.
Yeah, and not just them, but I think even the France midfield, Rabiot, then there's Sokumi. So what happens is they are the ones who are building up to this thing. They were the ones who were involved in these turnovers, forced turnovers. They were not allowing the opponent to get their game flowing.
And you have seen he was virtually flawless after the interval.
Yes.
His overall fourth and fifth goals displayed class.
Yes.
But what do you think is the quality of this 23-year-old Mbappe?
I think he is consistent. He is resilient, and he's persistent on what he's doing. He's continuously going. He's continuously running through defenses. He's making his moves off the ball movement, on the with the ball movement. Is just awesome, great.
France were relentless on their attack as they pushed for an opening goal, but could not unlock a sturdy Poland defense until before the break. How is that they found it very tough to open the account?
For me, I think Matikash, who plays for Aston Villa, was excellent. He was just given the job of marking Mbappe, and he did an excellent job. Till after all, they are great players. Mbappe, he had his moment, he took it. But I think Matikash did an excellent job. Every time Mbappe was going with the ball, in fact, in the 24th minute, he tried to go around him. Matikash knew he was fast, but he just shielded him and he didn't allow him to come back. I think those moments sometimes define a match, but at last, I know France took it, but sometimes when the defender like Matikash was doing his job, it was very difficult for France to get through until Giroud came and he scored the goal, and then it was a different story altogether.
Joseph, what is your take on it?
I agree with Worrell. Fraction of a second have made difference in this results, and now when I say fraction of the seconds, is probably 150 to 300 milliseconds of this is the difference between a team that won and lost. So these are the stakes that we are going to go ahead in the World Cup.
But these are the very fine points that one needs to take into consideration.
Yes.
And it does make a world of difference. You have seen actually, Mbappe played a pinpoint ball through to Giroud, who hammered it past the diving Poland goalkeeper to claim his 52nd goal for France. What history.
Yes, sir, surely, because if you see now, even Poland goalkeeper is one of the best in the tournament. The amount of saves he has made, the penalties he has saved, and to come at that stage and to score, and Giroud coming at this level, okay, surpassing the record that previously was held by Thierry Henry, excellent.
And then you had Mbappe shining, and he became the first player to score 9 World Cup goals before his 24th birthday, having netted as many as Argentina's Messi. And a handball by a France player gave Poland a chance to score the consolation goal. That was a penalty in the 9th added minute of the second half. But he missed scoring the first one. Luckily, the referee saw VAR, and then they said it was a move which was quite early by the goalkeeper. Second penalty, he was successful. Towards the end, one fine goal from this renowned striker. What do you feel about him?
See, he's a great striker, but somehow he could not get his club form into the World Cup, and that was somewhere disappointing. You could see he was so happy, he was overwhelmed by emotions when he scored his first field goal, the last match, and it's just that he wasn't that quick with compared to the France defenders, Varane and Upamecano. Then plus there was Tchouaméni. They were just there, not allowing him to, perform. But I think he's. You could make out in the end when the game was over. He was happy that he lost with the better team. He accepted. He embraced them. He was smiling. So he was pretty graceful, I guess. He was grateful.
If you look at the France, they are without their entire midfield that they played in the last World Cup, as well as the striker. And still, you have missed the striker who won the Ballon d'Or, and still they did it so well.
Yes, without Karim Benzema, okay, yes, but if you see the backup, I think that what counts. Every team, the amount of backup they have. Sometimes if you just go with the player and it's injured, and if you don't have a backup, it's a problem. But France has a backup which even probably the second team, if they put them, they're good enough. If you see actually the third match in the group stage, he had replaced almost 9 players from his setup. He gave almost faces which were unrecognized. But they performed well. Although they lost, it was a good performance. So you see the backup that France has is excellent.
They still look one of the strongest team in the competition.
Yes.
Do you agree, Joseph?
I very much agree about this. And they are looking very dangerous in terms of, they convert their chances. The rate of conversion is very high compared to other teams. So if there are 8 shots on target, probably they're scoring 3 goals. So
yeah, because yesterday they had 16 shots, 8 on target, compared to 3 from Poland. And still they made a very, very good impression before they now launch into the most important game next.
Yeah.
It can be anybody's guess, the next game. So we are coming to the halfway of our program, Bandit with Herald TV. The program is being supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Betalbatim, Adlengoy Family Restaurant, Doria Deger Multi-Cuisine Restaurant in Old Goa, and Martin's Place Village Bistro, Navelim. Don't go away. Come back. We'll be resuming it shortly.
Please do drop in at a small little family restaurant called Adlengoy, which is just 5 minutes from Basilica of Born Jesus and Say Cathedral. In this small restaurant, we serve authentic Goan cuisine, and we are known even for our fresh fish, chicken, mutton, etc. Also, we are known even for the other cuisines like tandoori, Indian, Indo-Chinese. So why don't you come over? Also, we have a full-fledged bar, and our bartenders do really good, amazing cocktails and mocktails. And also, most important point, we are having a live premiere of the FIFA World Cup. So do drop in with your family and friends, and for reservations, dial the number on the screen.
today we are at Martin's place and the ambience, sarke chod bare. Like look at this, so spacious and so nice. You feel like dancing. So let's cheers for it. The food here is next level. Like it's so good and so the prawns, guys, they were so kurkurit. Like it is approved by Mr. Kurkurit. So look at me eat them. And Goan sausage stuffed squids. कितने लागताले रे हो. Sam के kadis boom bang जाता. आणि तेंगे signature dish मिळला मरे stuffed crabs. कितने लागता बरा pure crab meat, white wine आणि cream आणि cheese gun. जेवणा खायला मरे आम्ही prawns पुलाव आणि chicken काफ्रियल की लागता हर के चोड बरे आता पुलाव.
Welcome back. You are watching Herald TV, and this is a special presentation on Bandit with Herald TV in connection with the 2022 Qatar World Cup. We finished dissecting the proceedings of the earlier match, and that was a match which was hotly contested, and we have come across France and Poland, France winning 3-0 against Poland. The other round 16 match featured England and Senegal, and England defeated Senegal 3-0. England over 60% possession, and they adopted the 4-3-3 system. And everybody is now watching for the next quarter-final match, which is going to be England and France. The English captain scored his first goal of this World Cup, and he scored for the 52nd time for England to move within one of Wayne Rooney's England record. He also overtook Gary Lineker's as his country's leading scorer in major tournaments with 11 goals. England reached the semi-finals also at the last World Cup in Russia. England continued their free scoring form. You had Jordan, you have got Kane, you have got Saka, they all scored. Impressive. They have now scored 12 goals in the tournament, equaling their best ever World Cup record achieved in the last edition in Russia. Senegal had their chances in the first half, and England struggled to make an impact in the opposition's final third before Henderson broke the deadlock in the 38th minute, and before the African side could settle down, Kane opened his account in Qatar with a goal in the first half stoppage time. And Saka's goal, his third of the tournament in the 57th minute, sealed the game for England. How do you react to England's 3-0 victory?
Initially, if you see till the 31st minute, it was a well contested match. Till the 31st minute, there was no shot on goal. England were trying the best. There were a lot of crosses. Either it was wide, it was high. They tried till the 31st minute, and that I feel Senegal were just trying to were getting the momentum. And that spurt of moment from transition from defense to attack, and England took it from defense to attack, and they just scored a goal. I think from the 31st minute, it was all England. But before that, it could go either way, because Pickford had a save to do. Just before that, it was a missed pass. It came to Pickford, he did an excellent save, and then from there, it was, I think, mostly England.
I think Joseph will do a little bit of explanation. Why do you think England took so long a time to break the deadlock?
Senegal, when you look at the, till the 33rd minute, Senegal were playing a lot of pressing, not allowing England to play their football. You can see that in, I think, probably the 33rd minute, where I think it was Sarr who was pressing on Saka, and Saka was forced to make a mistake, and he just passed the ball behind. He was intending to pass it to, I think, Stones, and it didn't reach the player because it was quick decision. Reaction time was very less. So the Senegal player, the forward, he got the ball, and he shot it, forcing Pickford to save it with his left hand, which was a very important save, because if that goal went in, they would be in trouble. But then after what happened was even England does the same thing. England also presses and tries to stop your playing style, and what happens is that is the thing. The forced error, the forced turnover that England did, the transition that happened then was so quick, so quick. They took the ball, Henderson gets it, Henderson scores the goal.
And
So
after that, it is
then it
a
is
walk through.
walk through.
Again, you are stressing on the reaction
Time. See, that's what the decision making of players depends on the reaction time that they have, and that the opponent allows the other team to have. So this is where it is going to, that's why that the game against France and England is going to be on reaction time. The importance of reaction time. How much now? What happens is England sometimes they take a lot of time to play their football. They take a lot of time to supply it to the forwards. So we'll have to see what happens over there. Declan Rice is an amazing player. He's one of the main architects of this thing along with Henderson. Then there's Phil Foden, quick player. So we'll see how it is.
The victory extended England's all-time unbeaten run against African teams to 21 games, including 8 in the World Cup. Morocco, who face Spain, are now the only African team left in the tournament. The absence of the suspended Idrissa and injured QATAR left Senegal's midfield too underpowered to pose problems for England. Do you think so, Joseph?
Yes, it is definitely one of the cases because it was silly. What do you say? It was silly from his in the previous match that he got that card, and but then after I think teams you have to cope up with the loss of a teammate through this thing. But
and then with Sadio Mane missing due to injury, Senegal lacked a cutting edge to trouble the England defense. Do you think so?
Yes, surely, sir, because the level at the which Sadio Mane plays, before it was at Liverpool and now it is at Bayern. I think he could really make the difference, but as I said, sir, they didn't have much of a backup at that caliber. They surely missed him. They managed to get to the group stages without him, but now is the testing time for all the teams. When it comes to the knockout stages, it's a lot of pressure. There are teams that have won their group stages or come second, so it gets all the more tougher. And that is the time where I feel every team needs to click and score, and that is the time probably they miss those players who perform at the top level at top clubs.
Actually, it was eventually a convincing victory for England. But many who feel that England will need to have a look at how and why they took so long to impose themselves. What do you attribute this to, Joseph?
This probably is they were trying to the momentum, as we say, the momentum shifted after the 30th minute. So the momentum was not with England at that time. When I'm saying the momentum, I'm talking about the physical as well as the psychological momentum. So that once the momentum starts building from a team like France straight away got their momentum going with the passing, with the thing. In fact, the first 20 minutes of France's game was totally opposite of what England was facing. The momentum was through this thing, passing, how crisp passing was done, how quick passing was done. So
do you think England can afford such a slow start when they face France?
I think definitely not. In fact, there are two players who need to be quick. One is what's his name? Maguire. Maguire will need to be very quick, and Declan Rice supply will need to be improved.
But
for that
England,
game.
Don't forget, they have Phil Foden, 22 years old. They have Bellingham, 19-year-old. And I think they are strong weapons that England could use against France.
Yes, surely, because if you see the game also, sir, it was, as Mr. Joseph said, it was a momentum shift. If you see the statistics, 4th minute Senegal attack, 7th minute England against Senegal, but there was a lot of missed passes happening via Maguire. So I think that the Senegal was trying to take advantage of that missed passes, but they couldn't provide the final pass because they didn't have that forward who would go and finish it. But it was a shift of a momentum till the 31st minute.
But
and
Bellingham,
having
yeah,
Bellingham,
please continue.
having Bellingham and Phil Foden, because I feel Harry Maguire absorbs all the pressure. If you see both the games and even the group stages, he absorbs all the pressure. Probably two defenders are with him. So you leave a lot of open spaces. And them having Phil Foden and the 19-year-old star, I think it's really great because he's doing excellent in the team.
They say that Bellingham has been very extraordinary. The 19-year-old has been one of the England's best players in all 4 games, and he has become a key player. He is the player England have been looking all these years. He is an absolute superstar. Do you agree with that, Joseph?
He's definitely a superstar in the making. The thing about Bellingham is he's young, Phil Foden. Now, these young players, what happen is they don't have that fear factor in them. Like, if I lose the ball, what will happen? They are just, when you are young, you are fearless. And when you're fearless, you can do things that are extraordinary. So that's the advantage, being young and being fearless.
They say that Bellingham drove England's attack in the first half. He set up 2 goals, and even 1 goal broke the deadlock, and then he also helped his captain to do the scoring.
Yes, sir. Even first the through ball, what he ran and passed to Jordan Henderson. Yes, I won't take away anything from Jordan Henderson because the finish was good. There was a defender coming, there was the goalkeeper rushing, and the finish ground, which was impossible for the goalkeeper to get. The second goal, good pass by Bellingham, but yes, Harry Kane, I think sometimes this defines a striker. The amount of time he knows that he has, because he was very aware, because many a times it happened with Portugal where the goalkeeper left the ball, the striker came, but he didn't probably realize how much time he had. He slipped and it was a mess. But Kane yesterday, he waited for the bounce, he waited for the half volley. He was very aware where was the defender. He took that shot and it was very difficult for the goalkeeper to stop it. So excellent combination.
England attacker Raheem Sterling was a shock omission in the game against Senegal. The Chelsea player missed the game because he's dealing with a family matter. Raheem had to rush home because his house in Stirling was broken by armed intruders while his fiancée and young children were inside on Saturday night. A gang of armed thieves stole something like worth like $5,42,000 worth dollars of watches before the alarm was raised. At the moment, clearly, the manager of England said, the priority for us and for him is to be with his family. We are going to support that and leave him to have as much time that he needs. And he added, sometimes football isn't the most important thing and family should come first. What do you say, Joseph?
I think absolutely right. Southgate very sensitive to this issue that happened. Now the thing is, we have to look at if the manager said, like, to remain at the World Cup and be with the squad, how it would have disrupted the other squad members.
Psychologically, he
would not be in the place.
Been with the team.
He wouldn't have been there because his mind would have been elsewhere, and his performance, as well as he would have rubbed his attitude towards other players.
So it was a very
wise decision from the manager. And in fact, Southgate is another manager who takes a lot of psychological inputs from their psychologists. In fact, even the last World Cup, they had a psychologist who was helping them, the team.
So do these psychologists really help?
Yes, it does. It does. That's what. See, now for example, if you look at the manager's sensitivity towards Sterling, and the same thing if you compare with what happened to Ronaldo with his manager, the sensitivity, they lacked sensitivity over there. What happened over there, everyone knows.
Yes.
I'll not go into that, but
only one hopes that Raheem can return to Qatar in time for the match against France. Do you feel so?
Yes, sir, because they say football is the game of minds. The feet are just the tools. And as you said, sir, I feel he returns mentally fit and all calm to play for the next match.
So that brings us to the end of this episode of the round 16 matches. And I think everybody will be looking for Brazil's match now, and then France and England next. So let me thank both our panelists. That's Warrell D'Souza and Joseph Ronken. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
We thank all our viewers for being with us. For this program supported by Decathlon Kalangut, Martin's Corner Betalbatim, Adlengoin Family Restaurant, Doriadegir Multi-Cuisine Restaurant Old Goa, and Martin's Place Village Bistro Navelim. We'll be back tomorrow with more news and more analysis. Thank you. Bye-bye.